What's going on, everybody? We're doing our first NFL Sunday review, kind of like a knee-jerk reaction, a little overreaction Monday, I guess you can say, almost in a way. We're going to talk about every single NFL game that happened yesterday, a quick rundown of what happened, a look ahead, and see what these teams are about. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start with the Thursday night game, Patriots versus the Bucks. The Patriots won 19-14 in a game in which Nick Folk for the Buccaneers, who actually got cut, missed 3 field goals in an ugly game. What is there to say? The Patriots won a game here. They're 3-2. They're tied for first place in the AFC East with the Jets and the Bills. The Dolphins are 2-2 in that division, having played one less game because of Hurricane Irma, I believe. For Tampa Bay, they fall to 2-2. They probably should have won this game, honestly. Jameis Winston didn't have his best game, but he gave his team a chance to win the game. It's just something that needs to happen for the Bucks in order for them to compete with the better teams in the NFL. Going to our next game, Bills versus the Bengals here. The Bengals won this game. The Bengals have won 2 in a row after a very ugly start to the season. The Bills need to run the ball effectively to be an effective NFL team. The AFC North looks wide open right now with the Steelers, the Ravens. The Steelers looked very, very ugly yesterday, and the Ravens got a win against a Derek Carr-less Raiders here. For the Bills, though, they need to effectively run the ball here. If they can't effectively run the ball, they can't use Tyrod Taylor as effective as they want to, which is play action, intermediate throws, little read option in there. Shady McCoy, they give the ball to him a bunch of times, but it's just he's not gaining the yards necessary. Niners versus Colts here. The Colts have won 2 games without Andrew Luck. I said at the beginning of the year that if Andrew Luck were to miss significant time and the Colts were to go 0-5, 0-6, I could see them resting Andrew Luck for the season. That doesn't look like the case right now. The Niners almost came back yesterday, just not enough. Jacoby Brissett has actually looked really good for the Colts. The Colts defensively are bad, though, so look for them to improve in the draft. The Niners are going to be bad, but they're still a team to compete. You can't take them lightly as they're going to come out and play hard every Sunday. Kyle Shanahan's still looking for that first win with the Niners. With the Niners, it is a process, so I can see them being better in the next 3 to 4 years. It's going to be a long-term thing, which means they need to stick with John Lynch and Shanahan. Panthers and Lions. The Panthers won this game 27-24 in a game that I thought the Lions was going to win. I thought the Lions were the better team. It turns out Cam Newton is back. Cam Newton had a very tough week this week off the field with his comments about a female reporter. But he came out and balled out. Ed Dickson had a huge game, 175 yards receiving. Cam had... my problem with this game is that the Panthers didn't run the ball effectively at all. They had 28 attempts for 28 yards. That's garbage. And the Lions need to find some big plays. Matthew Stafford only averaged 6.5 yards per attempt. That's not going to win ball games. It's just not. Cardinals versus Eagles. The Eagles thoroughly dominated the Cardinals, and the Eagles look like the best team in the NFC right now. One of the best teams right there with the Packers, Green Bay, and Carolina. And Atlanta, I guess you can say. Atlanta was on a bye, so... Atlanta does need some time to figure out their offense, as their offense has changed under Steve Sarkisian. But that's a different topic for another day. The Cardinals look like one of the worst teams in the NFC. They're in a weird spot. They're a medium-aged team that needs to go into a mini rebuild. They need to get a quarterback for the future and probably rebuild that offensive line to give that quarterback time. Carson Palmer looks old, and it's not looking good for this team. I would not be surprised to see Arians, Palmer go, and maybe they part ways with Fitzgerald via the trade. Chargers and the Giants, a game of 0-4s. The Chargers won a close game finally. They've been close the last couple years. Anthony Lynn got his first win as an NFL head coach, so congrats to him. The Giants, what can you say about the Giants? They're 0-5. Odell Beckham's out for the season. They lost Brandon Marshall yesterday. They lost Sterling Shepard. Their only healthy receiver is Ricardo Lewis right now. They are going to need to go into a mini rebuild. At the skill positions, they are set. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Odell come contract time, as he does miss this full season. But the Giants need to go into a mini rebuild, look for their quarterback of the future. I guess they think they have it in Davis Webb, who they drafted last year. And they need to rebuild that offensive line, as that offensive line is atrocious. Eric Flowers should not be playing left tackle. I said it in my team preview. I got pissed off Giants fans in the comments saying that, oh, they improved, but no, they haven't. I'm sorry, Giants fans, but your offensive line is bad. Titans versus Dolphins. The Titans really need Marcus Mariota. He's going to miss 2 to 4 weeks, apparently, with that hamstring injury, and Matt Castle isn't that guy to win ball games for them. The Dolphins are a weird team. They're 2-2. They win ugly. Jay Cutler had less than 100 passing yards. What is there to say about this team? I mean, they found a way to win. They're still alive in the AFC East. The AFC East is a very weird division right now, with the Patriots looking very vulnerable on the defensive end of the ball. But the Titans need to find a way to win some games here without Mariota and put up a bunch of points. They need to start relying on Derrick Henry and DeMarco Murray. Jets and Browns. The Jets won this game 16-10. The Browns are 0-5. DeShone Kizer got benched yesterday. Same story, same Browns. I really wish they'd figure it out. They need to develop these kids. Maybe bench Kizer for a couple games. I don't know. This team is very young. They need to rebuild another year. I think in 2 years they can compete. They're just too young right now. They need to have patience with Hugh Jackson and the GM right now. That's my only thing. The Jets are 3-2 somehow. I don't know how. I thought they were the worst team in the NFL. Turns out they're not. The NFL is weird. Any given Sunday. What can you say? Jags Steelers, a perfect example of any given Sunday. The Jaguars' pass defense is the best pass defense in the NFL. They probably have the best corner in the NFL in Jalen Ramsey. Ben Roethlisberger doesn't look like Ben Roethlisberger. He was picked off 5 times. It just did not look good for him. And he even brought up possibility of retirement. He brought it up during the offseason. I don't know. They might need to look for their next quarterback. Seahawks and Rams here. The Seahawks won a game that was ugly. They won a game how they want to win, which is with their defense holding the team below 12 points. That's just what I think. The Rams are just too young right now. Jared Goff threw the ball 47 times. That's not what you want out of him. Gurley only had 14 attempts, but the Rams averaged 4.5 yards per carry. The rematch will be very good because it's going to be in Seattle. Maybe the Rams will be in a better... they will have grown a lot from this game to that game. I still think the Rams are a force to be reckoned with this young team. Ravens versus the Raiders. Ravens did what they were supposed to do. They beat a Derek Carr-less Raider team. There's not much really else to say about the Ravens. They're an interesting team. They're tied for first, technically a half a game behind the Steelers in the AFC North. If the Bengals get hot, watch out for them. But the Ravens are a weird team right now. They have running backs dropping like flies. Joe Flacco is very average quarterback. Offensive line is a huge question mark for them. They just beat up on a team that's missing their leader. Cowboys Packers. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL. I'm a Cowboys fan. He took his team down the field in a minute for 75 yards for a game-winning touchdown. The Cowboys completely messed up clock management by giving Aaron Rodgers that much time. The Cowboys also had one drive in the third quarter. That's not going to win games. They also had the ball for 12 minutes in the fourth quarter and got outscored 20-10. This defense is a huge problem for the Packers. What can you say? As long as you have Aaron Rodgers, you're going to win games. My heart broke a little bit yesterday. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers is probably the best damn quarterback in the NFL. He gets all of his guys involved. And they had a semblance of a run game yesterday. I would not be surprised to see Aaron Jones be the lead back and they move Ty Montgomery back to receiver, especially with the amount of injuries that Jordy Nelson has had in his career. Devontae Adams has missed time in his career. Randall Cobb has missed time in his career. Things like that. And our last game of Sunday, Chiefs versus the Texans here. The Chiefs did what they were supposed to do. They were up big. They were up, I believe, double digits at one point in the fourth quarter until Deshaun Watson. They probably went into a hurry-up mode. I didn't really watch most of the game. I was a little busy last night. But the Chiefs are very well coached. They look like they're the best team in the NFL. I know it's only 5 games into the season, but they look like the best team. They have probably the best offense, one of the best offenses in the NFL right now. Very efficient. Alex Smith is no longer a game manager. But what did I say about the Texans? I like what they were doing. It's unfortunate that they had to play the Chiefs to go drop to 2-3. The AFC South is not tough. You have 3 teams that are 2-3 and 1 team that's 3-2 with the Jaguars. The Jaguars have been beaten bad, but they have beaten teams bad too. So, but I liked what I said. I still stand by what I said about Deshaun Watson. He's their franchise quarterback in Houston. J.J. Watt is out for the year. Whitney Mercilus is out for the year. The Texans are hurting on the defensive side of the ball. Deshaun Watson is going to have to carry him. I think he has 10 touchdowns in his last 2 games. That's simply amazing. So, that's our Monday reaction, overreaction review a little bit. For some teams, it's going to be a little bit of a grind as we hit the 5th game, as we head into week 6 here. The NFL is wide open still. I would say that the Chiefs are probably the clear-cut favorite right now. And right now, if I had to pick a team to come out the NFC, it might be the Packers just because of Aaron Rodgers and how godly he is. That's going to do it. I'm out. Thanks for watching. Peace.